Hey, what's happening, all you animation lovers out there? I'm Duuz-Diz-Din, coming at you again with more Talking 2D. The show all about animation, illustration, and the people who have an unhealthy obsession with it. I'm here with my co-host,
the man with the iron giblets.
Yes, baby. Alright, let's talk some One Piece. There was no new chapter this week, which... sadness imprisoning me. But we did have a pretty fun episode. That's episode 979. Good luck, Leader Kinemon's plot. Talk to me, baby.
The majority of this episode was, I'm going to be honest with you, it was padded. It was a episode. Like, the whole point of the episode they wanted to get across was that Kinemon's plan ultimately worked out in his favor. It was a complete fluke. Total fluke. Like, he actually got Yasuo's message wrong, whereas Denjiro and everyone else was actually smart and immediately knew what he was on about.
Oh, God.
Those are the most important parts of the episode. The rest of it is just... the best way I can put it is all the budget for a good portion of the season definitely went to last week's episode.
It does feel that way.
When they got the chance to just be like, oof, we gotta take it easy. Like, can we have more static shots, like things that don't need to move that much? I mean, we could put in some flashbacks. It's fine. Show them some good animation in previous episodes. I mean, listen. They gave us some of the better animated sections. Just like, hey, remember how great this shit was? Remember that? Remember we can do that while you watch this. Cause look, budget is a thing. And we have blown it.
I feel like they're saving it for in a couple of weeks when we see Jimbei.
More than likely, seeing as for whatever reason they have to pad out up until that point.
I mean, I'm gonna be real, because this episode covered about almost the entirety of a single chapter, give or to a few pages. So I mean, they tried. But yeah, I was noticing that, especially with a lot of the reaction shots and stuff like that, where it's just like, geez, guys, come on. And given the fact that they ended up in the middle of chapter 976, there it is. They ended up in the middle of 976, more or less, give or take a few pages. And the end of that same chapter, Jimbei shows up. So the fact that next episode isn't the one with Jimbei's name in the title makes me very worried about how much padding they're going to put in the next episode.
I mean, it could just be like an issue where they're just continuing on with the plot, but just altering the placement of when Jimbei shows up.
I have to wonder about that.
That could be a possibility. I'm not going to rule that out, but I do share your concern. I'm just trying to be a little optimistic here.
Yeah. I mean, because, like, stopped in the middle of chapter 976. Next chapter, it's all Jimbei joining the group and heading out to Onigashima. And the chapter after that is literally called Introducing the Tobiropo. So I'm like, guys, you are like teasing the fuck out of me for like some really good shit.
You know how it goes with One Piece. We know all the shit that's coming, and we're just like we're more or less champing at the bit for it, because it's just like we've waited and waited. Show us the animation. Show it up. We're like rabid dogs right now.
I mean, it really, for me, it just comes down to the fact that I'm ready for Jimbei to have joined in all forms of media. Yeah, we've had him for a good while. Like, it was about a year in the manga. So, a year since he was, joined the crew in the manga fully. And now we're almost got him for the anime. And I'm just like, I want it. I want it. I want it right now. Give it to me. Do the thing. Give me the thing.
We need the shot of the full 10. We need it. We've been waiting long enough.
Seriously.
Stop teasing us.
Like, I've waited long enough. I'm ready for the load to be blown.
That's me with Zoro defeating Apu. I don't know if it's gonna have the same. I don't know if it's gonna hit the same as that manga panel, but I'm really hoping that it will. I feel like they will at least try to get that same kind of vibe, because that panel is just my absolute favorite thing.
Yeah. Oh, well, I will say one thing in defense of the anime. I think a lot of what this episode also was is that they really just were trying their best to make sure people fully understood what happened in terms of Kinemon's, well, let's be frank, crappy drawing skills and how that translated to what seems like a Machiavellian plan that was literal sheer dumb luck.
Exactly my point. Like, I feel like you could have definitely conveyed that in half the episode. So I do feel like they were dumbing it down just a bit just for everybody just tuning in. Like, hey, just so we're clear, this is what happened, and we were doing this and this and this, and it consequently led to this, and that. Everybody clear? Everybody good? You understand? Cool.
Like that moment in Spaceballs where Rick Moranis turns to the camera and is just like, everybody got that?
Basically. Who doesn't get it?
You're like, whoever it is, see me after class, I'll explain it to you while I'm beating you with this, sack filled with One Piece volumes. But, I mean, that's really all we really had going on for the episode, because, again, it only was covering so much, so not really much else happened in this episode aside from exposition. Kawamatsu tried to throw hands with Kanjuro, and that was about it.
Yeah. Oh, also, it's revealed that Kanjuro can, in fact, draw. Oh, wait, no, that was last episode. That was last week. But, everyone just wants to reaffirm that point. Wait a minute, the Kanjuro we know can't draw like that. It's like, yeah, he was faking it. He was faking being like that. Did you get it? Did everybody get it? Did everybody get that?
Although I will admit, like, you spend that much time with someone and it turns out they're not only a traitor but were hiding their true skills. It's just like, I'd be in disbelief too, being like, really? After all this time? Like, what the shit?
That's true. Can't argue that. But at the moment he decided to come forward and just be like, I am the betrayer. It's like, really? You just wanted to come forward and say that all this time everything was a lie? I'm going to process this emotionally later. Right now, you need to die. I think that was my only thought process.
I mean, don't forget, Kinemon did go right for the motherfucker's head after a bit. It's just like, okay, you need to just die.
Yeah. The worst part is just the fact that he not only got his hands on Momonosuke, but I don't know, maybe I'm projecting too much on this, but I just feel like we established all this. We've been watching the past 3 episodes in a row this past week. The spectacle of last week definitely got us, but don't think we forgot the information that was directly delivered before that. We good. We didn't need these full explanations.
I feel like they also had to make up for the fact that I remember watching this episode and the recap was going on and it was super short and I'm just like, that's odd. The recap was really shorter than normal. I'm just like, because you literally recapped most of the shit in the actual episode.
Basically.
It's really starting to feel like what they've been trying to do is making sure it's just like, y'all were on that flashback for a good while there, so we're really doing our damnness to make sure all information is on the table here. Like, everything you need to know, every plot point, every detail, every minor infraction that could have happened, no stone has been left unturned, because once we kick this shit into high gear, we're not going back. You take your piss break right now. We are not turning around.
So that's exactly what it is. And the thing is, I personally don't feel like I need it, because, I'm pretty much kept up. I've pretty much kept on this shit, but, if that's what they feel like they need to do, then that's what they feel like they need to do. I feel like this is also their ploy to just be like, okay, we bought you some time, but we only bought you so much.
Yeah.
So, get to it!
So I always think about Brandline reviews and his comments about how, even with the enhanced animation, we still have just so many goddamn reaction shots in this series, and it's just like, ever since he said that, I can't unsee all of them when they happen.
Unfortunately, he has figured out something that is a glaring problem that I never noticed until someone pointed it out. It's that glass shatter moment.
Yeah. It's just like, oh shit, he's right. Oh no, I can't unsee it now.
You know what? I'm willing to forgive it this time, because I have to imagine they do shit like that. It's all for time for the sake of the animators.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, this probably wouldn't be as much of a problem if the series could be, chopped up into seasons and sections, so that way everything is like evenly spaced out. But no, we're trying to keep this hype train going, friends.
Yeah, it's the actions of a bygone era that no longer applies to anything except One Piece and Case Closed. Or Detective Conan, whichever one you want to go with at this point.
That's right. That's the only other series that's still like almost 1,000 episodes long.
Oh, there is no almost. Detective Conan is over 1,000 episodes long.
Thank God. Yeah. And he's still a little kid, right?
Like, with each new episode, with each new season, he moves a little bit closer to the organization that turned him into a little kid. Every once in a while, I check back in on the details, and I'm just like, oof, it feels like 1,000 days of Detective Conan, and yet it still seems to be taking place all within the same year. Yep.
I'm sorry. What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a year hasn't even passed within the series itself. Yeah, Detective Conan is 1,009 episodes long.
Good lord, and it's still going?
Yes. Yeah, it's in chapter 1072 at this point.
Wow. I mean, damn, dude. So I never got to pick up on it, but wow, he really loves this series, huh?
Oh man, this series has consumed this man's entire life for the most part. But considering, man, Crunchyroll had did this whole thing about the development of Detective Conan, and it's a wild thing. You definitely need to check it out at one point, because the details behind Detective Conan's creation is very much kind of akin to how Dragon Ball was created. Like, his second most popular work, it came out, and then it's just like, it ended up eclipsing everything else.
Wow, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
Do we have anything more for One Piece? I think we're done with this episode. There's not much else.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to talk about Kanjuro and his Kyoshiro / Denjiro and that weird ass pompadour thing he was wearing.
I want to know how he made that. I didn't know he had like worn it. I thought he just had like some fucking wave cream like from the Boondocks where they just turn like their afros and straight hair.
No, man, I always thought about that when I saw it in the manga, because I'm just like, oh, that was just something you were wearing on your head? The fuck?
I mean, hey, it's an excellent disguise.
I mean, seriously. Not to mention with how easily he could beat anyone and everyone up that would even respond about it. It's just like, I wouldn't make fun of the weird thing he had on his head.
Considering, didn't he just like walk up to Orochi, demonstrate how tough he was, and just say, yeah, let me work for you? He's just like, okay.
I mean, not even that. It was simply that he had managed to bring a whole bunch of people in under his employ, and Orochi, who's drawn to power in all its way, shape, or form, was just like, hey, I hear you have a lot of power and you got a lot of men and women and influence going on. You should bring some of that my way. I'll make you a very rich man.
Tanjiro, looking to just absolutely destroy Orochi, is just like, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, you will. Very much so.
Exactly.